In 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to episode 167 of the WrassleCast. I'm your host, Don Delarente. I'm joined, as always, by my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Didi Jonay.
Hey, friend.
Hey, friend. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just chilling, just chilling.
That's just you and I on this maiden voyage tonight.
Hey.
The WrassleCast is brought to you by CSPN. You can find us on the web at cspn.us. You can listen to the podcast at iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. We can also be subscribed to and downloaded to any app that plays podcasts for iPhone and Android. So, Didi Jonay, they finally announced all of the teams for the upcoming Mixed Tag Team Challenge. They're not going to mess me up this week. I refuse to try to say their alliteration. So I'm going to run through the teams, and then you give me your thoughts about who you like and who you think is going to win.
Okay.
So we have The Miz and Asuka.
They gonna
Alexa. That's who you think will win already? First team?
maybe let's go on. Maybe I'll change.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This isn't Jeopardy where you blurt the answer out too soon.
I know.
Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman, Charlotte and Bobby Roode, Lana and Rusev, Sasha Banks and Finn Balor, Naomi and Jimmy Uso, Nia Jax and Apollo Crews, Bayley and Elias, Natty and Nakamura, Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn, and last and not least, rounding out the Mixed Match Challenge, Carmella and Big E. So, who do you like?
Okay. I would say Asuka and The Miz or Braun and Alexa. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe Bailey and Elias is like a sleeper team. Maybe.
Okay. So you got no love for like Nia and Apollo Crews? You think Apollo Crews is gonna be holding Nia down?
I see it for Nia. I don't see it for Apollo. Like I see it for Sasha and Finn. I love the idea of them, but if they go against an Asuka or a Braun, how's that gonna work? Like I just maybe I'll change my mind if I see the brackets, but I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'm secure in my choice.
All right. I like the team of Naomi and Jimmy Uso. I think that they could handle themselves depending on the matchup.
Yeah, I don't see them being first rounders out. No. I don't know.
Yeah,
I need brackets. Let's do this like the NCAA, damn it. I need to see.
So, again, this will be taking place starting next Tuesday on Facebook at 10 o'clock. I think it's going to be like 20 to 25-minute episodes on Facebook Watch. And I'll throw up a poll this weekend for the hashtag, and we'll be putting that out on Twitter on Monday and Tuesday. So, if you're in the WrassleCast live tweet and SmackDown Matters live tweet, you'll definitely see the hashtag that wins because I'll be promoting it. So stay tuned. But yes, we will definitely be keeping our eyes on the Mixed Match Challenge. So we'll get into Monday Night Raw. I think Monday Night Raw was from Memphis, Tennessee, I think, right? Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because Elias made fun of Elvis. That's how I remember. So Roman Reigns begins the show. Roman comes out. He says Joe wasn't ready for him last week and got silenced. Last week, he was fighting with a purpose for his brother, Dean Ambrose. Jason Jordan comes down. Jason Jordan says that he watched Reigns beat on Samoa Joe last week and felt like he was a part of something and starts talking in we like he's in the Shield. Roman says, he wants to thank Roman, and he offers him a fist bump. But that doesn't go over too well with Roman. Seth Rollins comes down and says Jordan has a lot to learn. He knows that Jordan means well, but Jordan says it's their moment. He says they are all champions and they run this show. Roman says that he's the guy and Jordan is just Seth's partner. Jordan says they may be the most dominant group in all of WWE. Finn Balor arrives and the Good Brothers are with him. And they say that they believe that they object to what Jason Jordan just had to say. Balor says that if Jordan really believes what he's saying, that he and his brothers were together for 10 years before Jordan even knew that Kurt Angle was his dad. Gallows says they went on to start their own, but now they're coming back together to take this place over, and 2018 is the year of the Balor Club. Jordan says that he's a part of the Champions Club. Balor jokes about Jordan not being a part of the Shield. They push and shove. Kurt Angle arrives and books the 6-man tag for the main event later tonight. Miss Dijonay, your thoughts about Jason Jordan in the Shield?
He's very light-skinned, huh? Like, he's every light-skinned stereotype, and it's just like, my God. And you can tell he's young. He acts really young.
Yeah, I like it though because it's like growing pains. It's like he's learning how to be in this kind of main event spotlight. Like he's had some shine, but he's never had like this much shine.
Right.
And,
yeah.
They trying to learn him. So.
And I do enjoy that it is very much like he's not a natural at this. He's a little difficult. Everybody's a little annoyed by him, but listen, just because you get opportunities through nepotism doesn't mean that people like you. So
right.
I like seeing both sides of it. Like, yeah, you get these opportunities. Yeah, you're a winner. Yeah, don't nobody think you should anyway, though. Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
Because that's like...
And Roman definitely doesn't have time for anything Jason Jordan related.
Right.
The crowd was very mean to them too because they started chanting "You both suck" once they got out there facing off. It's like, damn.
I love that kind of shade.
So we get our first match.
Like, I'm not picking all of y'all shit.
Right, exactly. Not discriminating against anybody in the ring right now. I don't like any of it. So we get our first match. We have Bayley and Sasha Banks with Mickie James versus Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose with Paige. Mandy Rose tags in and knocks Bayley to the floor and continues to work over Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks manages to get a roll up, but it breaks down. Bayley takes Deville to the floor. Banks hits the backstabber, and then the bank statement, and Mandy Rose has to tap. Bayley, Sasha Banks with Mickie James gets the win.
Hey.
Sonya Deville had a different look this week. She had her hair down.
Who did?
The MMA girl.
Did she?
Yes, because her thing.
It's like Casper. I don't see her. Don't recall her at all.
Well, her thing is put your hair up and square up.
Square up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I don't see it for her. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, somebody that you may see it for. Woken, Matt Hardy versus Kurt Angle. Or excuse me, Kurt Hawkins. Matt slams Hawkins.
It's basically the same thing. Wait, no, it's not.
No.
A better winning percentage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since he's been back. Yeah. Forget us.
Kurt Hawkins is a Hall of Famer too. It's just at his bank, not in the WWE Hall of Fame. But to some people, that's more prestigious anyway. So Matt slams Kurt Hawkins into the buckles and avoids a high cross. Matt then slams Hawkins to the turnbuckles repeatedly. Matt then hits the side effect and a twist of fate, and Hawkins starts off the new year with another loss as Matt Hardy gets the win. After the match, Bray Wyatt arrives in the ring, and Matt and Bray just have a laughing contest back and forth at each other. that part was really lame.
Every time I look at Matt Hardy, I'm just like, God damn, your teeth are fake. Like, wow. Like, I can't get past it. It's like, I don't remember what they looked like back in the 90s, but they did not look like that. I know they didn't. And it's just like, they're even, they're straight, they're blindingly white. It's just like, I don't understand. Like, are they dentures? Are they implants? I don't know. I get distracted.
For the first like 5 seconds of them laughing at each other, that was cool. But then when it
Yeah.
went on for like a minute and 5 seconds, it wasn't that
Yeah.
cool anymore. So, oh
It's
well.
like, and it's like, okay. Like, I got it the first time. Like, I laughed and then you laughed at me and then I laughed at you. And now you cut to something else and leave me with the idea that they were laughing in the ring forever. You don't show me that they were laughing in the ring forever. Like, honest, come on.
Yes.
It's like, did somebody forget that they were supposed to hit the other one? Like, what happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. So we get Miz TV.
The best
Elias.
show.
It's time to walk with Elias. As Elias busts out a tune, he's singing about Elvis, but then he changes the song to Welcome Back to Miz. Axel and Bo Dallas are out with the Miz. Elias goes out to the crowd, and of course, everybody is happy to have the Miz back. He says he's done with the Marine Six and the Holiday USO tour, and he's back to make Raw must-see TV. He praises Bo Dallas and curls Axel, and he thanks them, and they thank him for mentoring them. They lead the crowd in a "Thank You, Miz" chant, and Bo Dallas gives Miz a photo of the Miz. Axel then gives Miz his jacket. Bo Dallas then one-ups Curtis Axel and gives the Miz his watch. Axel gives Miz tries to give Miz his shoes. The Miz then ends all these shenanigans, but says he hasn't forgotten about the Shield powerbombing him through a table before he left. The Miz says he allowed Reigns to borrow the IC title because he wanted the title to be around while he was gone. But he says that Daddy's home. He says he will become a father and he will become the longest reigning IC champion of all time. And he will be the great that kids remember as the greatest IC champion of all time. He says he's back and he's coming for his IC title. And you can't believe that. We missed the Miz.
He's just. Can you believe Lil Carl used to punk him on a weekly basis on MTV? Like, can we talk about growth? Like,
He's
he
come a
was so
long way.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So good. Oh my gosh. I thought the most we would ever expect from him would be like hosting the challenge. Like, I never thought he would actually be a wrestler. Won a challenge. Like, I remember when he was just a reality guy, and now he's like a big fucking deal. That's crazy.
Not to mention with a wife like Maurice.
Yeah, she's Canadian though.
I mean, he's
I don't even know what that means.
he's really winning at the game of life.
I don't know why I said Canadian like that thing.
I mean, next to Trish
Oh,
Stratus,
God.
she's one of the more attractive Canadians they've had in WWE.
But Canadians are perfectly attractive. Nobody's prettier than Trish. So let's just cut that noise out. But Maurice is, and I'm not a fan of like platinum blonde hair, but Maurice is beautiful. I don't know why I said that like Canadians are ugly or something. They're not. Canadians are cute. Well, the men at least. Chris Jericho, Edge, Christian. I even like Bret Hart a little bit. Although I heard he might be racist.
Oh
I
no.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I might have made that up. He had cornrows, but that was the 80s. White people really did have a lot of cornrows back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully he's just an angry old man that just only likes old school wrestling.
Is he alive?
Bret Hart? Yes,
He's not alive.
yes, he's still alive.
No, he's not. Is
He? Yes. Don't be trying to put
I
Bret
could
Hart in
have
the
sworn
grave.
all of them were gone except Jim and Brett.
No, Jim and Brett. Yes,
I want
you're
you to
right.
know that when I Google British Bulldog, do you know the bulldog? Like the dog.
Yes, the British Bulldog has unfortunately passed away.
I knew it.
Yes, but
Okay.
Bret Hart is still alive
No, I know that. He just
and
had the
being
cancer.
and just
I
yeah
know.
and just being a crotchety old man when it comes to modern wrestling.
I mean, when your dad owned a wrestling, you know, whatever it's called, training, whatever facility, I guess you are kind of obligated to be old school about it all.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh, the British Bulldog been dead. Who knew? Okay, anyway.
So we have Enzo Amore versus Cedric Alexander for the cruiserweight title. Enzo talks his normal trash and explains why he missed Raw last week and makes fun of Cedric Alexander for teaming with Goldust. He also promises to remain the cruiserweight champion after tonight. Cedric Alexander fires up and lays in the back elbows. He hits the spinning elbow and the neutralizer for a 2 count. Enzo is busted wide open over the eyebrow. Cedric Alexander catches Enzo with the kick and then hits the springboard clothesline. Enzo rolls to the floor and Alexander wipes him out with a tope, and Enzo hurts his ankle and we get a count out. So do you think he was faking? Or do you think
Um,
it was legit?
I would like to think he was faking because that's what a good heel would do.
Okay. Seems right up his alley.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Try to sneak out a win when he knows that he was in there with a superior athlete. Yeah, Cedric Alexander was like clowning, even though he was a little too happy to win the match by count out. His whole dream apparently is to be the cruiserweight champion. So,
mm. Mm.
so they announced the list of stars that are going to be appearing at the Raw 25. We have Stone Cold Steve Austin, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, the Bella Twins, the New Age Outlaws, the APA, the Dudley Boys, the Undertaker, Nature Boy Ric Flair, Jerry Lawler, and Jim Ross. What do you feel about this group of folks, Didi?
I mean, it sounds right.
Pretty
Sounds
much.
good.
I think they announced like the Godfather is going to be on there. And like another little vignette they had later on. Now, this was on SmackDown where they had like Teddy Long and the Godfather and some of the people who were on SmackDown. They're going to be on Raw too from the old SmackDown days. So the episode should be pretty fun.
Oh,
But I,
nice.
but I think it's also the go home to the Royal Rumble. So it's going to be
Oh,
interesting.
so it should be popping.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they pull that off. So Enzo is getting checked on backstage. Nia arrives to check on him. She asks if he's okay. He tries to tough it out in front of her, says, yeah, he'll be fine. And then, of course, when she walks away, he starts whimpering like a little puppy dog. Angle is on the phone. He's trying to bring back an old name for the Women's Royal Rumble, and he gets interrupted. The Bar arrives, and they want their tag team title rematch. Angle books them in a tag team title match, but it's going to be at the Royal Rumble. Angle says that he will find them opponents for later tonight. Miz then arrives and hypes his new unscripted TV show on USA. Miz says he wants his IC title rematch and he wants it on the special Raw 25. Angle agrees to that.
Yes.
Alexa Bliss
He's
meets. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
no, you're fine.
No,
Yeah.
you're fine. No. I want to get
No,
your
I was
point.
just gonna say he said I want me a special match on the special night.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Because he is the Miz and he came to slay. When you sometimes when I like dress up sometimes and I'm
Uh-huh.
looking like halfway decent, I'll just scream that out.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror and just be like,
What?
I came to slay, and then walk out.
Wait. Are those the lyrics?
Yes. When his music first starts, that's what he says. You didn't know that?
Did not know that.
Oh, just teaching you things every day.
I knew it was I came to. I didn't
Slay.
know if it was slay, play.
No, it's slay.
I came to get down on your knees and pray. I don't know what I thought those first words were. Did not think it was slay.
It's the Miz, of course it is. So
I mean, it should have been obvious.
so Alexa Bliss meets with Asuka backstage. Alexa tells her that she got lucky last week and threatens to send Nia Jax after her for what she said about Nia. Of course, Asuka is looking at her with this dumbfounded look on her face because she doesn't really speak English that well or understand it. So, oh well. We have The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro versus Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews with Dana Brooke, also known as Titus Worldwide. We get tags to Cesaro and Titus. Titus runs wild but gets distracted and Cesaro attacks. Sheamus hits a knee strike and tags in. Crews dumps Cesaro. Sheamus misses a bro kick and Titus rolls up Sheamus and Titus Worldwide gets the win. So I'll take a drink for the
Shocking the world.
And we'll take another drink for Titus Worldwide winning. Of course.
He deserves, because he was on that Kurt Hawkins winning streak.
Yes. It was about time that Titus Worldwide, finally got something. Dana Brooke could put like a win. Since he's a statistician, she could finally put like a check mark in the win column. So that was good for her. So hopefully this leads to bigger and better things for Titus Worldwide. So Paul Heyman and Brock, they're on the scene. Paul starts talking about old school. And he says that he and Brock respect that. But he says that wrestling is a progressive industry and we've gotten away from something important. And that is a one-on-one championship match. One man stepping up against the champion. But now it's how can Lesnar survive the latest challengers? Last week, Lesnar took Kane's best shot and laughed in his face, like he'll do at the Royal Rumble against Kane and Strowman. Heyman puts over Lesnar's dominance and says no one can put him down. Kane then attacks Brock as he leaves and they brawl on the floor. They spill the brawl into the backstage area and the brawl continues. Braun arrives and throws Lesnar through a table and he kills Kane. All of a sudden, he tosses a production box on the Kane as well. He like lawn darted Brock into like, I don't know what that was, like the side of the wall or something. So Braun gets a grappling hook. He throws it.
First of all, why do they have a grappling hook? What are they doing with the grappling hook?
They need to retrieve something. Somebody may need to climb. You may need to get a vehicle stuck out of the mud.
Okay, now Don, I know you're a little bit older than me. You've been through some things. You've lived in the South. Have you ever? You work in arenas. Have you, throughout your day-to-day business, have you come across a grappling hook, like in real life?
Once, I can say yes. Once I did.
Once.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Once.
Okay, so I'll leave it there. So okay, it makes sense that there was a grappling hook.
Okay. So Braun uses his big grappling hook and he pulls down the lighting truss onto Brock Lesnar and Kane. And another committed murder on television by Braun Strowman. But he's had murder committed against him on TV as well. So, he's just trying to be, get even. He still owes Kane.
Don't get this ass whipping.
Yeah, I can't believe the way he manhandled freaking Brock though.
Yeah,
like
he's a rough one. That's a big boy.
Yeah, he made Brock look like Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah.
So after the commercial, we see that Brock has survived, but he's getting stretchered out. Kane also survived, and he's barely crawling away. So we move back to the ring, and Samoa Joe is wrestling Rhino with Heath Slater. Rhino tries to fight back, but gets cut off, and Joe hits an STO. Joe hits an atomic drop, the big boot, and then the senton, and Joe covers, but only gets 2 count. Joe locks in the Kikina clutch, drags Rhino to the mat, and Rhino taps out. Unfortunately, Samoa Joe injured his right foot in the match, and it's believed that he has torn his plantar fasciitis. Yes, very painful injury. Speaking from experience, he'll probably be out about a month. So the Royal Rumble may be out of reach for him unless he does some real aggressive treatment, and maybe if they put something special in his shoe and he takes some really good pain medicine, he can probably get through it in 2 weeks. Yeah, maybe, but that would be still a stretch.
Yeah,
he
needs to be at the Royal Rumble.
Yes, he does, because
for reasons.
Yes, and this is the reason. Joe says that Reigns' win last week came at a great loss, and he's beaten years off of Roman's career every time they've wrestled. He says, and when Roman crumbles, he will be there to finish the job. Joe then announces his participation in the Royal Rumble, and he vows that John Cena will be the first person in his crosshairs.
He's got to be at the Rumble. I need him.
When he said that, the first person I thought about was you.
Like, I lit up. I was like, oh. Pain immediately. Is it on site?
Like, I don't know how she feels about Samoa Joe. We've never really had this conversation if she's like thumbs up or thumbs down on him. But yeah, if she was thumbs down, I think she at least just turned the thumbs in the middle on him after he said that he's going after John Cena.
Different. It's a positive about Samoa Joe. I have never disliked him. I think it's because he's Samoan. I'm always greatly amused by the fact that he is almost literally the only one. Like, it's just like, how? Like, how did they even let you in the club? Like, how did you get in? Like, I thought they had it on lock. Like, oh, you're not one of us. So I've always liked him or been indifferent. Never, ever, ever disliked him. But when he said, it's almost like when Braun last week said, catch these hands. It's like there are certain things you say that mean that I automatically have to be a fan of you. When he said, I'm coming for you, John Cena, like first, but first, I was like, yes, you are for me, yes.
So we have Alexa Bliss, and she's meeting with Nia Jax. Alexa asks about Enzo, and she's like, really not concerned, and Nia can kind of pick up on that. Nia says that she's entering the Rumble, but Bliss says people think that Asuka is the favorite. Bliss says that if Jax takes out Asuka, then they could face off at Mania. Nia isn't really buying it, and she wants to demand what Asuka said about her. So they kind of tease a little bit. Nia's like, come on, tell me. Alexa's like, nah, I don't want to. Nia's like, come on, tell me. So she tells her, and then when she tells her, Nia kind of looks at Alexa and goes, huh. She asks Alexa, does she speak Japanese? And Alexa says, no. Why? She says, because Asuka doesn't speak English.
Duh. Get her, Nia. Get her, Nia.
I'm a big fan of this new.
Like that.
Right. I'm a big fan of this new Nia Jax.
Yeah. It's good.
It's real good.
The beat a bitch braids are nice. I gotta protect my man, but what was said, like, I like it.
Okay.
I enjoy it great.
So we're supposed to get Alexa Bliss versus Asuka again. Asuka's coming to the ring. She's doing her entrance, And all of a sudden, she gets attacked from behind by Nia Jax. Nia Jax hits an electric chair drop, and then she hits a rolling senton and leaves Asuka laying. Don't mess with the woman. Don't mess with her.
It's wonderful.
So now we get our main event of the evening. We get the Good Brothers Club, the Balor Club, Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson versus the Mini Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Jason Jordan. Balor and Jordan rush in, and the ref doesn't see the tag to Roman Reigns. The Good Brothers hit the Magic Killer on Seth Rollins. Roman cleans house and then argues with Jason Jordan. Roman fights off the Good Brothers on the floor. Jordan tries to help Rollins, but Balor takes him out. Then Finn hits the shotgun dropkick on Seth and the double ultimate Kevin Sullivan foot stomp, and Finn Balor picks up the win for the Good Brothers Club. After the match, The Miz, Axel, and Dallas arrive and beat down Roman. Miz hits a skull crushing finale, and then the Shield Bomb follows, and The Miz stands tall ahead of his Intercontinental title match.
Hey.
So, what you think about that finish?
It's lit. Balor wins. He's a snack, so he deserves. The Miz stands tall on his return. You know, what more could you ask for, really?
And the fans got to see Roman get beat up before they went home.
Which they like. Even though they like him, they do like to see him get his little ass whipped a little bit. Roman's the kind of guy, he needs to have his ass whipped every now and again just so that you can learn to like him. I love hockey Roman, but a lot of people aren't into it. A lot of men aren't into it. So he got to go through his troubles and tribulations.
Okay. So we haven't done this in a while, so we'll start off the new year, the second podcast of the new year. How many gummy bears did you give it?
Oh, are we doing out of 5 or out of 10?
Yes, we can do 5.
I'll give them 4.
Okay.
There's room for improvement, but it was good.
Yeah. I was thinking a strong 3.5 myself.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. All right.
3.5.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's me. Yep.
So I'm going to turn it over to you for your SmackDown Matters report.
Okay. Excuse me. You can call that a distraction. It distracted me from reading my notes. Okay, this week they're in Birmingham, Alabama. They do a recap of last week's main event, and then Renee starts the show by interviewing AJ. The rules for Kevin and Sammy's match at the Royal Rumble, their handicap match, are that Sammy and Kevin. Wait a minute. Can I call them Savin?
Did you just accidentally make up something? I think that's what Dee was trying to tell us last week, that Kevin Owens was trying to say, where he melded their names together.
Oh. So what do you think? Kemi.
The first one you said.
Savin.
Yeah. I think that works better.
Okay, Savin. Okay. Maybe this will work. Maybe I won't stumble over their names this way. Okay, Savin are going to have to tag in and out of their match. It's not just like a 2-on-1 whoop ass kind of thing. So then Renee asks if AJ thinks that this rule is fair. He says he didn't realize that Daniel was going to take his words seriously last week when he was like, why don't you just fight me at the same time? So he said there's a chance that he could lose the title, but there's also a chance he can beat the crap out of both guys. Then Renee says he didn't really answer the question, and do you think it's fair? AJ says no, but he's willing to fight them both separately for the title, even on the same night, and he calls it poor booking. Renee asked if he thought Daniel was playing favorites. The crowd chants yes. But AJ doesn't really want to answer. He says he doesn't know whose side Daniel or Shane are on, but he did know he would defend his title against two men. Seven, interrupt. Kevin insincerely asked that we give AJ a hand, blah, blah, blah. So then Kevin claims AJ was trying to backtrack on what he said last week. He says it'll be a miracle for AJ to win. Out miracles to people like him. He said Seven would be the first ever WWE champions. And there are repeated yeps all throughout this. So he says that he agrees with AJ that the match is unfair. He doesn't understand Daniel's decision to give these two yep clowns, quote, another chance at the title. But for now, the match will go on as planned. Shane wants to see a handicap match tonight, though, and puts a 2-on-3 match against AJ, Randy Orton, and Nakamura. Then they cut to backstage. Daniel's waiting on Shane. Calls Shane's decision puzzling, but gives him credit for making tonight's main event. They shake hands. So they're, vaguely getting along. Kind of, sort of. Any thoughts?
My thought is that I like the interview, like the sit down style kind of interview. I really like that. And then Sami Zayn, of course, just being the hype man in the background while Kevin Owens handles the promo is just the best.
Ginger Bay. So good. Next is Becky with Charlotte and Naomi versus Ruby Riott. Goddamn. You would think I was drinking. Ruby Riott with Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan at ringside. Becky announces that she'll be a part of the Royal Rumble. She is the final SmackDown Women's roster to herself as an entrance, and she says she will also be the final woman standing. Becky's all over Rudy. Then after the break, Ruby's in control. Lynch comes back with forearms, uppercut, spinning kick, and suplexes. Ruby ducks a kick and hit a couple of her own. Then Lynch counters a Riot kick into a disarmer, and Ruby taps out. At one point near the end, it looks like the Riot Squad wants to interfere, and it's really bad camera work because you can't see it. But Charlotte and Naomi kind of move over to the side like, can I help you? And kind of stop that from going on, which allows Becky to get the win. So there's that. Speaking of Becky, there's a video from the website which announces Sami being Becky's partner. Becky's super happy about it. It's adorable. It's quite cute. Oh my gosh. You have no idea. Next, the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Ascension. Earlier tonight, or that night, Breezango let Ascension know that they would not be at ringside. Because duh. But they said it's because that they have a match against Rusev Day. So, Connor and Victor jump Harper as soon as the bell rings, but Luke cuts off Victor with the best damn big boot ever. I guess that's what it's called. Harper and Rowan win with an assisted sit-out powerbomb onto Victor. Connor enters the ring to check on Victor, but he was attacked and they gave him the double crucifix bomb. Shocked? No, you're not shocked.
Yeah, not impressed at all.
It's kind of like, duh. U.S. Championship Tournament match, Mojo versus Zach of the Riders. Bobby Roode enters because he's glorious. Zach doesn't get an entrance. His trunk says Zach Down Live because we still love Zach. Mojo comes in with his usual entrance. There was talk on the Twitters that he should probably change his ring gear because he's essentially a heel and you can't be a heel in neon.
This is true.
Thought. Yeah. I mean, it's not wrong. Really be a heel in yellow day glove? I don't think you can. At least I need like a sunset yellow. It can't be a bright yellow. Gotta put some mustard on it. But
yeah, he definitely needs some darker. He needs some darker ring attire for sure.
For sure. But Mojo wins with a running punch in the corner. After the match, Rude and Raleigh kind of face off in the ring. It doesn't really matter. What matters is we get some music, some glorious music, and middle of the ring. Jinder cuts a promo backstage saying that he was WWE champion for 185 days. My notes say that that's a lie, but that's none of my business. And he says that the only person who believed in himself was himself. Now that's true. He says he has a new goal for 2018, and that is to be the U.S. champion. He calls New Day a fad, but the Maharaja was forever. They play a video for Natty when she finds out who her partner is in the mixed media. That's not what it is. Mixed media is like
Mixed match.
mismatch.
Yeah, like socks
You
that
gotta call
aren't the
it
same.
mismatch because you can't say mixed match. That's not how people talk.
Yeah, mismatched, right?
Mishmash, mishmash. Yeah, whatever. We'll call it what we want. Who cares? Do what we want. It's our fucking show. But they show Natty finding out her partner. Her partner is Nakamura. I am a little upset because I feel like if your partner is Nakamura, you are supposed to say, "Fuck yeah, my partner's Nakamura." Instead, she was like, "Yeah, I'm not with Sammy." Oh my god, what if I was with Rusev? Like, it's just like, okay, can you focus on the fact that you have a great fucking partner instead of talking about who you could have had? Like, I don't know. It annoyed me. Shinsuke deserves. What if he had been like,
Better than Addy? I agree.
right? Like, what if he had been like, I wish I would have had Oscar. Like, you'd have been like, excuse me? What if he was like, damn, thought I was going to feel the glow? Like, you wouldn't like that. Why would you
Mm.
do that? I don't appreciate it. I find it disrespectful. Anyway, Chad and Shelton have a promo. Chad is wearing a white t-shirt that reads hashtag free the tag titles. He asked the fans if they know about take sacrifices and how to be a success. Shelton's like, of course they don't. And he said, just because the University of Alabama won a national championship, it doesn't make y'all winners. Ooh. Then he says that Georgia was robbed due to a poor referee call, just like they were robbed last week. Chad says that they freed the titles from the Uso Penitentiary. The crowd chants Roll Tide. I don't know what that means. I think it's a football reference. Whatever. Chad calls out generic referee number 2 because he's like, why were you out there? Were you jealous? So instead of that referee coming out, Daniel Bryan comes out. He says he knows what it's like to work hard and get something taken away every year. Yeah. So then he says he doesn't care if you bash your opponents, but you can't knock management or some word that he goes in. They're like, we didn't do that. We were talking shit about the referee. And he's like, the referee is upper management or whatever word he used, and you should not be critiquing them, and their decision is final. And so Benjamin's like, sure, but that referee said that they were winners. Daniel's like, let's be clear, y'all didn't win, and the referee thought he was doing the right thing when he changed the decision. So then Chad says Daniel's taking things out on him, and he's like, what do we have to do? Beat the Usos twice in one night? And Daniel's like, gasp, Eureka. I have a great idea. Actually, you have a great idea. So basically, they have once again taken an offhand comment and turned it into a match. Therefore, at the Royal Rumble, it'll be Chad Gable and Jason Jordan 2.0, just because it's shady, versus the Usos in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the titles. So that's that. How do we feel? Are we happy?
Oh yes, this should be a lot of fun. That match, it's gonna be off the chain. I mean, basically that's what that match was we got the other night. It was,
Yeah.
basically one fall apiece. So, if they do something similar to that and get a little bit more time, I don't know how much time they'll get though, because the Royal Rumble is an hour. The women's Royal Rumble is probably gonna be like an hour. And then you got these other title matches in there too. So if they get some time though, that could really tear the house down. It could be the best straight up match on the card.
Yeah. I hope it's all that it should be. Backstage, AJ's talking to Randy, but I like to pretend Randy doesn't exist. Remember when I used to pretend that Ryback wasn't a thing? We're gonna do that with Randy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our 2018 thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what happened to Ryback, right?
He
He
disappeared.
got, yeah,
It's
he got released.
They're never gonna release Randy. Randy would have to be like on TV talking about nigger, 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 and things like he's just been going through a lot. Like there's
Cuz might get him off TV for a month.
right. Like take him down to NXT as a culture or something. Like he's never going away. He's a lifer. Bless him. But I don't want to talk about him. AJ was back there with him and Nakamura came out. It wasn't even anything. Then Breezango versus Rusev and Aiden English. Aiden sings a song announcing that they would win the Rusev Rumble match. Yes, on Rusev Day. Breezango picked up the win after Fandango pinned Rusev with a schoolboy. Yeah. How do we feel? We're happy. Wait, you felt some kind of way about this, didn't you?
Yeah, because you had the fashion police doing all this great work, doing all these great vignettes, but they never wrestled a match. They could have wrestled and been getting all these wins. Everybody loved the fashion police. Now you finally, then cool them off. We don't get the fashion files anymore every week like we used to. But Rusev Day is now the new shit. So now what do? You take the old news and you be the new news. Like, what's up with that?
Valid. A valid critique. Backstage, Shane lets Daniel know that they are not on the same page, calls his decision making impetuous and irrational. And he says, "Are you okay?" Which is like, how dare you? Daniel's like, "What do you mean?" Like, well, you seem a little unstable. And Daniel Bryan is no punk. So he's like, I can say the same about you, especially considering your gene pool. Shane's like, hold on now there, bitch. And then Daniel says Shane makes irrational decisions in the past, will probably do so again. And he's saying this like facts. And so then Shane's just like, we're gonna have to agree to disagree. And then he leaves. They have an advertisement for the anniversary show. I know you already talked about it, but Ted DiBiase's gonna be there. Ted DiBiase was like my first crush. I love Ted DiBiase. I think because he had money.
Oh, I was about to say because you've been beard gang from the beginning.
Really, that's probably really what it is. Because like I was never a Hulk Hogan girl. I was Ted DiBiase, then I was Randy Savage, like all day. It's all about the facial hair, man.
Yeah, if you
Never
want to,
could get with Sergeant Slaughter. Had that big old chin just empty of facial hair. It was weird.
yeah,
Didn't like.
if you weren't a Hulk Hogan guy or gal, you definitely were a Macho Man.
Oh yeah, but it was like some people were like Hulk Hogan. I was like, I don't. His hair is yellow. Like, why would I? No. And I did love Randy. Not enough to eat Slim Jims, but close. Whatever. Okay, final match of the night. 3-on-2 handicap match. AJ Randy. Shinsuke versus seven? Seven. Yeah. Okay. So your AJ Randy Shinsuke team are winning. So Kevin and Sammy decide to leave. Shane is like, no, not today, bitch. This match is now no count out. So then they restart the match. The boys jump after the break. Savin is winning. Sammy has AJ in a headlock. Then Kevin comes in. He applies a headlock. Then AJ comes back with a fireman's carry neckbreaker, makes the hot tag to Orton, who hits a clothesline, well, a couple clotheslines, and a power slam. Orton is running wild. And then Kevin jumps in, hits him with the chair for the DQ. Yeah, we're out of here. They hit AJ with the chair and they get Nakamura a chair and they're walking up the ring. Shane's like, not today, bitch. This match is now no DQ. Well, when Kevin left, he left the chair back in the ring. So then AJ comes running up the ramp with the chair, attacks Owens, and takes him to the back. That leaves Sammy alone with Orton and Nakamura. They toss him into the post, and then Orton nails him with the steel steps. Orton clears the announce table, gives Sammy a backdrop, and then he tosses him into the ring. And Nakamura hits him with the Kinshasa. And then Orton finishes him off with an RKO for the win. And then Orton and Nakamura are posing, and the show goes off the air.
Man, poor Sami Zayn. Good gosh, he got bounced around.
It's so mean to my baby.
Yeah, Kevin Owens just took the easy way out. He let AJ Styles just beat him out the ramp with the chair. That's an easy night. But to take the RKO and the Kinshasa, good lord.
See, that's because Sammy is a team player.
Ultimate team player. Didi, you know how our listeners can be the ultimate team players?
Tell me.
By supporting our sponsors. By going to cspn.us, clicking on the tab that says support our podcast, and clicking on any of the wonderful sponsors that we have here at CSPN to keep the podcast free each and every week. So, Amazon, Blue Apron, Wink, Audible, Adam and Eve. You can find something that can definitely, fit your fancy on cspn.us. So please support our sponsors and help keep the podcast free each and every week. Next, we'll talk about some NXT. We have the Undisputed Era. They open the show with a pre-tape promo vowing to dominate NXT in 2018. We get Didi's fade, the Ace of Spades, Shayna Baszler versus Dakota Kai. Shayna Baszler gets a takedown and starts working the arm. Baszler is toying with Dakota, laying in kicks. Baszler then stomps the shit out of Dakota's arm, leading to a referee stoppage. As Dakota Kai gets medical attention post-match, Baszler chokes her out until Ember Moon makes the save. Yeah, you wouldn't have been happy.
No.
No, because you like Dakota Kai. She was one of the girls from the Mae Young Classic that you like.
With the brown hair.
Right.
Yeah, I loved her.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been happy. The Authors of Pain cut a promo with Paul Ellering, and they said they want their tag team titles back. Next, we get Shayna Baszler. She's getting interviewed backstage, and William Regal arrives. Regal is not pleased with what happened, and he sees through her games, noting that she won't get a title shot this way. Baszler just blows him off, and she leaves. So we get Cassius Ohno versus Raul Mendoza. Cassius Ohno stuns Mendoza off the ropes and follows with the running elbow strike, and he gets the win. We have Zelina Vega meeting with the media. She's putting over the champion, Cien Almas. She says Gargano got lucky and that he's not a fighter, and they already defeated him twice. She says Gargano is a lie, and while Almas is the truth, and there's no running from the champion. They interview Johnny Gargano, and he's thrilled to be the number one contender. All of a sudden, the Velveteen Dream arrives, and he wants Gargano to say thank you. The Dream says that Gargano got lucky beating Ohno, while Dream could have won in 30 seconds and not the 20 minutes it took Johnny Gargano. Velveteen Dream then says Gargano will fail to win a title and says Gargano didn't earn his title spot. Then we get a video of the Street Profits backstage. They're having a lot of fun. They go to meet with Steven Regal, and they want a tag team title shot. Regal says that he's been watching them and says that next week they will face the Authors of Pain in a number one contenders match. We have Leo Rush versus Lars Sullivan. Lars hits Leo with a huge lariat, and that turns Leo inside out. Lars Sullivan then hits the freak accident to get the victory. Post-match, Lars cuts a promo and says that he has taken out his opponent, and now he keeps going back to 2 weeks ago, and he wants to deal with the force that he never dealt with, and he wants to destroy that force, and that force is Killian Dane. Lars then hits Leo Rush with another freak accident off of the second rope. So, Leo Rush was a little guy who was talking trash when Emma got released on Twitter.
Well, that'll learn you.
Yeah, so they finally dealt with him. The Undisputed Era is in the process of beating down Sanity when we come back from break. All three members of Sanity are laid out, and they look the worse for wear. So the Undisputed Era arrives to the ring, and Cole says that they're missing something. And Kyle O'Reilly says, "Where's Sanity?" They joke about them forgetting about the match, but Nikki Cross arrives and has to be held back by the refs. She gets taken to the back, and then Steven Regal arrives, and he isn't happy. He says there will be a tag team title match tonight, And then Roderick Strong arrives along with Aleister Black. And so we have a new main event. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong and Aleister Black. Roderick Strong runs wild, working over the champions, hitting backbreakers and suplexes. Strong takes Fish to the floor and hits the jumping knee strike on O'Reilly for the double down. Aleister Black takes out Fish on the floor, but Cole attacks. Black is pissed and chases Cole into the crowd, leaving Roderick Strong all alone. The champions hit total elimination / Chase the Dragon and retain the NXT titles. After the match, Aleister Black and Adam Cole returns to the ring, and the Undisputed Era beat Aleister Black down. Adam Cole picks up Black, and the champs hit total elimination. They then get a chair set it up, and Cole hits Black with a DVD onto the chair as the Undisputed Era stands tall to close the show. Steven Regal arrives and books a match between Adam Cole and Aleister Black for TakeOver Philly in an Extreme Rules match. So that should be pretty fun. Yeah, Adam Cole, baby, is gonna have his work cut out for him though, because an Extreme Rules match means that Aleister Black can use a lot of plunder, and that might not work out for him too well. But that should be really fun. So, really good show. Got to see the Velveteen Dream. Got to cut a little promo. He's been hurt, so it's at least good to see him back on the show. Like we said, Leo Rush, he finally got his comeuppance for talking shit about Emma. Because, when I say squashed, he got squashed in his match. And Zelina Vega, she is the real MVP. I mean, she is just the best. She had them receipts for Johnny Gargano talking about, we done beat you twice, Holmes. You don't deserve no title shot. So, and then Shayna Baszler, awesome in-ring wrestling debut. Very mean, very vicious. And, she's going to do very well as a despicable heel.
Oh yeah, because I hated her.
Yeah. So she's definitely keeping that up. So I really enjoyed this episode of NXT. It's a really quick hour, went by really fast. And good luck to the Street Profits. Hopefully they can beat the Authors of Pain and get the #1 contender for the tag team titles next week. So we'll see what happens. So DD, at this point in time, I open it up to you for your shout outs, thank yous, and whatnot.
Shout out to the usual suspects, the ladies of Glow, Sam, Greg, the chairman, Mel, because Mel always gets shout outs, and you, Don, the best producer in the business. And that's it.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Short week. I ain't seen nobody. I ain't been drinking.
Okay. All right.
Nothing crazy happened.
Okay. Well, I like to give a shout out to my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Ms. Dee Jonay, Sam, Greg, J to the Max. I'd like to also give a shout out to The Whole Glow. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody on the CSPN, all the podcasters, the chairman himself, getting it done. Jamal out there, wherever you are in the world. Thank you, sir, for all the work you're going to do, post-production, putting the party and promos together. Again, shout out to everybody who was in the WrassleCast and SmackDown Matters live tweets this week. New Japan fans, please check out Cast of Strong Style. We're back. Miyamoto. We're breaking down, reviewing Wrestle Kingdom 12 and New Year's Dash. It looks like Chris Jericho is going to be sticking around New Japan, at least for maybe one more high-profile match. So find out who that is going to be against in our review podcast that will be dropping on this weekend as well. So check that out, all you New Japan wrestling fans. Big shout out to Moto, the best New Japan wrestling analyst in the business. Who else can I shout out really fast? All the guys over at Hot Fire Starters, Jeremy and Dan over at Crown and Collards, for giving me a shout out on their podcast this past week. They're really funny, really informative. So, you guys always check them out. Like I said, everybody on CSPN, please check out our new podcast, Bad and Boozy, Off That Drink, Rock Solid Radio. They've been really great additions to the network, and really will keep you guys laughing and highly informed at the same time. So on that note, for episode 167 of the WrassleCast, for my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Dee Jonay, I'm your host, Don De La Rente. Please stay tuned for the parting promo.